Hello, this is Sylvana Candela, licensed acupuncturist, author, and publisher, and I'm here to share with you my views on everything to do with healing yourself to heal the world. And today I'm going to keep my video brief because I just want to share one simple thing with you. The topic that occurred to me that's just on my mind and my heart right now is called Random Acts of Kindness. I was actually going to do something else today, but what I witnessed yesterday, I just had to share with you all because I'm still thinking about it as seemingly innocent as the whole thing was. Um, it is a random small act of kindness that I witnessed from another person that just has me very amazed, and just how beautiful and significant these things can be, and that we shouldn't just let it roll by as something not important. Sometimes these little things in life can be very important for our own healing, for the healing of others, and just the good feelings that it brings to our soul. So here's my story. I am in the process right now of writing my next book, Fast and Furious, and it is very consuming. It's all consuming, I should say. For those of you who've written a book, when you get into it, it really is. It just sucks everything out of you. It's like you're pregnant all over again. Of course, not everybody will understand what that feels like, but it is just like that. And then when you do actually publish, it's like giving birth. I've been told, yes, it is. I discovered. So that's where I'm at right now with my process, and where I'm choosing to do most of it, where I'm going through this gestation of this book, is where else do writers like to write but in a local coffee house? And I would normally be at Starbucks, but Starbucks right now, because of COVID, is still not doing the full indoor dining service, which I really miss. I badly, badly, badly miss it. And there's something about the literary atmosphere of a coffee house that's like nothing else. It's very creative. It's very what you need, that energy that you need. So we have one in our area that's a local coffee house, and they are doing indoor dining with social distancing, masks, and everything else. And they have all kinds of things there to make it safer, according to the guidelines of, following the rules and guidelines of Oregon. And it's just lovely. I love going in there, and I love the energy, and I love being around people, even at a distance, where I can tap away on my laptop and do my creative writing. And I will be sharing that with you all at some point soon. It'll be ready for publication within the next couple of months, so that's not too far off. Anyway, one of the things that they tell us to do there, that they have us do, is they have us wipe down our tables before, they say that, if you want to, they have the fixins, in other words, to wipe down your tables. So you can do that if you want to feel safe. They have a spray bottle and paper towels. And then, you can always what do with your hands, the wiping with the gel and everything else. So there's a sign that says you should do that. And there's also a sign that says, as in all these places, to please leave your table, respectable, I guess. That's not the word they use, but tidy or whatever. And I do that. I'm always mindful of doing that. I like to think that, I'm doing this for the next person, but it's also because it's the right thing to do, not to leave a mess. I don't like to do that. I know it's okay for people who do and who leave their cup or whatever, a plate there. Um, I'm of the type who likes to just, leave everything gone. I clean up after myself. But one thing I haven't done yet, and I thought I was a really good person for doing that, and I do think that's a good thing to do. It's nice. It's like, the old saying, your mother doesn't work here, clean up after yourself. You've seen that in offices, I'm sure. So I kind of take that. I take that to the next step in whatever coffee house I happen to be at. Now, I thought I was doing a really good job. I would come in, and I do think, it's good that I come in and I'll wipe down the surface before, because of COVID, I will wipe the table with sanitizer and everything else that they have there. And then when I leave, I just, pack up, put my things away, make sure everything is back in place and that there's no crumbs or anything on the table. That I'm leaving it nice and clean for the next person. Now, what I haven't done yet, and what I saw somebody do yesterday, has blown me away. And that's the random act of kindness that I'm going to share with you. This is a young man, and he's, I don't know, looking at him through his mask, I'd say he's maybe in his 20s, no more than his 30s for sure. Long hair. And he comes in and he works like me on his laptop and goes home. Well, what I saw him do yesterday just had me stop dead. I see this, I don't know his name. I see this guy every day. And even if I did, I shouldn't share it in public, yada, yada. You know how that is. But I see him there. And when he was leaving, I noticed he did something that was just absolutely flabbergasting to me. He cleaned up his stuff. He put everything away. He got ready to go. Not a spot. Everything, looked very nice on his table, like me and like most of us do there. And then he went and got the sanitizer and he sanitized his table and he sprayed the seat, the chair that he was sitting on, and he sanitized his seat. And I'm like, whoa, I just, I mean, maybe I'm dumb or something. Maybe you're supposed to do that. But to me, that was like, oh my goodness, what is this guy doing? Wow, he's better than me. And I like to think I'm a pretty okay, decent person with things like that and considerate of the next guy and so on. I just sat there and I saw him, I almost wanted to go over and say something, but I was just too flabbergasted to even move. And he was out the door already by then. And I'm sure I'll see him again and I will say something when I see him. But he sanitized his seat on the way out and the table and everything. And I'm like, for the next person. Now, I haven't been able to stop thinking about how amazing that is because you're doing that. I mean, it looks fine. You can leave it nice and clean and tidy, and it looks okay for the next person. But sanitizing, and especially the seat, oh my goodness, it's like nobody else is going to know that except you. The next person will not sit down and say, "Oh, how nice! It looks nice. The person before me left it nice and clean." No, you can't see the germs. You can't see COVID in the air or on the table or on the seat or wherever. So that person who's following him does not know that he sanitized for that person. And that to me is the most incredible, altruistic, random act of kindness that, and in somebody at that age, I'm like, whoa. Now, would that inspire? And I felt also like a big dummy, like, how come I didn't think to do that, right? So there were two other women sitting at another table. We were all like 6 feet distance, okay, and there were basically three of us in the room at the same time. The size of the space and everything allowed for three tables. And I noticed that these other ladies left a little while later, and they did the same thing. Not their seats, I gotta say admit that, but they sanitized their table as they were leaving. Now, I don't know if that's something you're supposed to do, or if that's something that somebody is telling them to do, and maybe because I'm isolated, living by myself, I don't hear all these good things. But or maybe it's because they saw, like me, they saw this guy doing it. You know, that was what I felt. Anyway, so you better believe it. When I left, I did the same thing, and I did my seat too. And it had me thinking the rest of the day. How amazing is that? That we can do something kind for another person, and they don't even know it. They will never know that we did something kind for them and nice. And that's a random act of kindness. And it has me blown away. And there's a healing quality in that for me, that my soul feels so good, not just because I learned something new and I did it, but because I saw a young man doing it. Now, why is that important? I don't know. Something about that really just blew me away. Somebody without that much life experience is that kind hearted and that good in his soul that he would do something like that for another person who doesn't even know it and who will never know it. But I saw it and I know it. And his soul knows it. And that gives me so much hope. More than anything, that gives me hope for us, for the future, for COVID, for everything. That kind of decency in another human being and showing it as a random act of kindness in that way or in any way that we do gives me more hope than anything. And may you all have a blessed day. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening. Take care.